What's up, guys? It's Alpha Wolf and welcome back to another video. I don't have a lot of time today. I actually have to head to work here soon, but I wanted to get a video out for you guys before that because I probably wouldn't make another video or make a video after work because I'd be really tired. And I can't make one tomorrow even though I'm off work tomorrow because I have my son tomorrow. So, wanted to get this video out to you today before I have to go to work. But today's video is going to be about Psychonauts 2. If you don't know, if you didn't watch my last video, Psychonauts is a video game that came out in like 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. And it's my all-time favorite video game ever. And I actually never completed the game until about 2012, I believe. And I hated that it took me so long to complete it, but when I was little and I would play it, I'd always get stuck in the game, and then I'd get really frustrated and not come back to it for a while. So in 2012, I finally completed the game, and I loved it so much, it became, like I said, my favorite video game of all time. Basically, if you don't know, in the first game, you play as a character named Raz. He's a kid. He runs away from home because he's not happy with his dad or his home life. His dad raised him in a circus and was always on his ass about doing acrobatics and, just circus shit all the time. And he didn't really have a life. So he ran away from home and he ended up in the Psychonauts camp for kids, which is basically a camp where they train young kids to become Psychonauts, which Psychonauts are people who have the ability to use powers with their mind, like telekinesis, pyrokinesis, invisibility, shit like that. It's really cool. Levitation. But basically in the first game, you have to earn all your merit badges. So it's kind of like a Boy Scouts thing, but because they have merit badges, but not really. So in the first game, you have to earn all your merit badges, and in the first game, merit badges count as new abilities. So you go to the camp. They call your dad to come pick you up because you're not registered to be in the camp. So they take you in for a few days until your dad is able to come get you. And Raz has this thought, really. I don't know where he got it, but he basically thinks that if he is able to earn all of his merit badges in the span of like 2 or 3 days, that he will become a full Psychonaut and not just a Psychonaut in training, and he'll be able to stay and not have to go back home. So the story is, you get there, they do all that, they call your dad, all that, and you go on this mission, on this adventure, where you're earning all your merit badges, and then it gets really weird, and I think that's why I liked it so much, because I had never played anything like it. Basically, each level of the game, you have to go into somebody's mind and basically fix them, or fix whatever their problem is inside their mind, and that counts as a level. So, you get, once you get through a certain amount of people's minds to earn your training, or your merit badges, you get about halfway through the game, and this girl, Lily, that you have a crush on from, like, the moment you see her. So this girl, Lily, that you have a crush on, she tells you that she's been having, weird dreams, right? And it's about, this doctor called Roboto, and he's been stealing kids' brains to use them in some diabolical plan. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. Some diabolical plan to take over the world. So you guys talk about that for a minute. You say that you've been having the same dreams, the same weird dreams, and she's like, "Well, let's meet at the beach tonight, or the lake, not the beach, the lake, and figure it out." So that night you go to meet her at the lake, and she ends up getting kidnapped by this big ass. They call it a lake monster, but it's really just a big fish that has mutated and been experimented on. So she gets she gets kidnapped by this huge fish, and you have to go into the lake to basically rescue her. And when you defeat the giant fish, you have to go in its mind. And its mind is weird because when you go in its mind, like all the people are fish in the city, but they're really small. And when you get there, you're like Godzilla size. So basically it's like a Godzilla level where you can destroy the city if you want to, but you ultimately end up freeing the people by fighting a character named Kochamara, which is what the little fish people call him, their savior, but really he's the person that took over their lives. So you fight Kochamara, and you have to destroy the tower that he's controlling everybody's minds with. So you do that, you get out of the fish's mind. You get out of the fish's mind, she ends up becoming your friend, and she takes you to the other side of the lake, where there's a little island with a mental asylum in it, or on it. And you get there, and you have to go into a bunch of people's minds and free them from their mental restraints. And when you actually get into the asylum, you run into Roboto, which is the evil doctor, and you have to fight him. Well, you don't really fight him, he kind of just pussies out and runs away. But his partner in crime is the one of the Psychonauts teachers from the camp. It's the coach. And the coach is actually the brain behind the whole thing. And he's using Roboto as basically a puppet, basically, to steal kids' brains and to try to find the most powerful Psychonaut brain to run his army, basically. Which so happens to be your brain. But you get there, you fight, you end up fighting the coach, and by the time you fight him, his brain has been knocked out somehow. It doesn't really explain how his brain gets knocked out. But his brain is inside a prototype death tank, and you end up having to fight the tank, and then when you bust the tank, or the glass part of the tank open, where his brain is, it ends up basically like puffing out this super sneeze, or super stuff that makes you sneeze out your brain. So your body's no longer there, you're just a brain. Then you have to throw your brain into the tank with the coach's brain. And when that happens, your brains intertwine, they get mixed together. So that level, you're in not only your own brain, but you're in the coach's brain that's intertwined with yours. And it's a bunch of weird, like, really weird shit. Because it's a mix of your past, which is a circus, and his past, which is he was a kid who, I guess, loved a fucking rabbit more than anything, and his dad was a butcher who wanted to kill it. So you have to protect the coach as a kid. You have to protect him while doing all sorts of acrobatic shit, and you have to fight his dad, the butcher. And then once you defeat his dad, a a version of your dad, how you see him, an evil version, shows up. You have to fight him, and then once you beat him, they fall into a hole. The butcher and the way you see your dad version falls into a hole, and then they come out, and they're mixed together. So now they're this huge freaking monster, I guess. So you have to fight that. And then once you fight that, basically you've saved the day. You know, the kids all get their brains back, and you officially become a full-on psychonaut. And as camp is out for the summer, it's time to go back home. The Psychonauts basically tell you not to go, and Lily, because they need you on your first official mission, like right then and there. So you take a secret hidden jet. I don't know where they hid it, but apparently they have a secret hidden jet. So you get in that and you fly away, and that's the end of the game. Well, from the looks of it, it looks like the second game. I'm just basing this off the trailer. I don't know if it actually does or not, but based on what I've seen from the trailer for the second game, I think it takes place like a couple days after the first game. And it looks like Raz is not happy with his Psychonauts life, like actually being a official Psychonaut. He's not happy with it because he thought he was going to go on all these cool adventures and shit, but he's just sitting behind a desk, which I'd be pissed too. I mean, you can't use your abilities. You have to sit on a computer and just type all day. But from the second trailer, it looks like Robato's back. So, and everything is still weird. So, basically, from the looks of this, the trailer for the second game, you put on your helmet or whatever that you need, get all your gear that you need for a mission, and you go after Roboto. And I'm trying to find a way to talk about this because there's not much to talk about from a fucking 1-minute trailer from the second game. But it looks like you get all your stuff and you go after Roboto, and then when you there's a bunch of cool new levels that look awesome. I'm assuming the gameplay is going to be the same. The powers are going to be the same unless you get new powers. But it looks like when you catch Roboto, he's talking to somebody like he's working for somebody, not for himself. He's looking out the window, and when the camera pans to the window, it's just an eyeball. It's just a huge fucking eyeball. And then it goes outside of the tower, and you see this humongous, like, I'm talking like probably bigger than the Empire State Building tall, of a person, and no idea who it is, but it looks badass, and I'm like, I cannot wait for this game, you know. It's a shame that it's been announced since 2015, and we're not getting it until now, 2020. I hope they don't push it back again, because I really don't feel like waiting forever for this game. But yeah, that's the video for today, guys. I'm sorry if you got lost in my my explaining of the game, or my explaining of the second game, which I can't really explain the second game right now because we only have like a 1 and 13-second trailer. But yeah, that's gonna be a video for today, guys. I wanted to get a video you guys. I wanted to get a video out for you guys before I have to go to work, which is really soon, so I have to go and get ready. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video for today. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video.